Nulatam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master has kindly opened my eyes with a shining torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances to his lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
So we're continuing our reading of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge. Today, text 27. So just a little recap. We spent 2 weeks on 26, the offering vegetarian foodstuffs that the Lord would love, especially with love. Bhakti is mentioned twice in the verse. That's the main thing. As it said in the purport we finished last week, Krishna doesn't need anything. He's self-sufficient. He has everything. But it's the love. That's the main thing that he wants. It's not the item that's offered, but it's the mood, how we're offering it with love. And like I was saying, humility is a very important part of developing that love, is humility. That we feel when we're offering something to the Lord that we're not qualified. We're like begging the Lord, please take, we're not qualified. We're just trying to assist our spiritual master. Prabhupada is ordering us to do this. So we're just taking his order and we're trying to do that. And that is the qualification, that we're just working as a order carrier for our spiritual master like that, who is qualified like that. So we're assisting. We're just placing it in the hands of our spiritual master, and then the spiritual master will hand it onwards and upwards to Krishna. And what I was also mentioning in that purport last week is that Krishna mentions earlier in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 3rd chapter, that a food that's not offered, that's you're eating sin. So definitely the indication is that we should try to make sure everything that we eat is offered. It can be in a simple way, like I explained. If you're traveling out of home or whatever like that, away from temples like that, away from your kitchen, you can just mentally offer it or have some simple picture set up, simple setup like that. So it can be very simple, but we should try to, remember the Lord and offer it to him, and if the food is not very good quality or whatever, but if you offer it very humbly with love, then he can accept it like that. And it was also mentioning that if you eat prasadam, a very important point which we talked about was that it helps develop special tissue in your brain for spiritual realization. So that's very important. When you eat prasadam, it's physically good for us. It's spiritually protecting us from Maya, and it's also helping us develop the right kind of intelligence and brain to be able to go further in our Krishna consciousness. So it's changing our body, completely changing our body. And apparently every 7 years, you have a whole new body. Or nothing in the body lasts for more than 7 years, except for the soul and the super soul. So all the material ingredients, they completely change within 7 years, even the brain cells, heart cells, everything. And I mean, skin cells are falling off right every day, right? So it's all getting changed. So if you've been eating prasadam, only prasadam for 7 years, you have a spiritual body. Your body is completely spiritualized, made up of prasadam like that. So, and then Prabhupada finally mentions in the last paragraph that impersonalists, Mayavadis, they can't understand this verse because it's so personal. That you're a person and you're offering food which is only eaten by persons. You don't offer food to the sky, do you? Or to a rock or to the light, like that. You offer it to a person. So you're a person and you're offering food which is eaten by a person to God, to Krishna. So impersonalists can't understand that because their idea that God is energy. They would never think that you would offer food to God in the form of energy. They don't do that. The Mayavadis don't offer anything to Brahman, to the spiritual energy like that. So they can't fathom this verse, and they see this verse as justification. There, Krishna's an ordinary person. They use this, see, oh, Krishna's asking for food. Oh, that means he's an ordinary person like we are. Because we want food. and he wants food, so he's an ordinary person. So they use it, and Krishna doesn't care what they think. They might criticize Krishna that, oh, he's an ordinary person, look, he's wanting food, like that. But that's confusing for them, these very personal kind of verses. And they'll try to twist it. They'll try to twist these verses of Bhagavad Gita to make it more impersonal. Like one impersonalist scholar, he used to be the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Sorry, what am I talking about? India, a long time ago. He's died a long time ago. But he had said in regards to into the verse about surrendering that it's not to Krishna, the person, that you need to surrender, but to the impersonal energy inside of Krishna, inside of everyone, that you need to surrender. So like that, they'll twist the verses to turn it from a very personal thing, that, okay, that Krishna's a person and I'm a person and I'm surrendering to the person Krishna. So they'll twist that into, now there's energy, the energy inside of Krishna, inside of everything, we're surrendering to that, which basically means you're not surrendering, right? Because you're dodging
Krishna says in
surrendering.
the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that don't explain the person who don't believe in that, because they won't understand. So I don't need to explain to them, because they're in different platform, catching a different train. How can you explain that, So, anyway.
I mean, if we detect that they're innocent, that they're not fully atheistic, that they're searching, open-minded, inquisitive, then we can explain. But we have to be careful what we explain. We have to be careful what we explain. So the first thing we would explain to a newcomer is that you're not the body, that you're a spirit soul. We wouldn't start off explaining, God is a blue boy that plays a flute and wears a yellow dhoti and like that. That wouldn't be the first thing. So the first thing is you're not the body, you're a spirit soul, like that. About karma, you can talk about, and the body is reincarnating, the soul's reincarnating to different ways.
If you say you're not a body, if somebody is dancing in the temple with the chanting and the dancing, can we say Prabhupada is dancing in him?
I didn't get that. Prabhupada's dancing in him. What do you mean?
In him, yes. Is that he's dancing or Prabhupada is dancing in him?
What, in the devotee who's dancing in the temple?
Yeah.
The devotee's dancing in the temple.
Yeah, because he followed the Prabhupada's teaching, and
Yes.
then he started dancing and singing and chanting.
Yeah.
So can we see that Prabhupada and Krishna are dancing in him? But he's the one dancing.
I never heard it explained that way before. That's because a novel way of looking at it. I've never heard that before. I can't really say. But what I do know, Prabhupada said that a devotee dancing is because they're feeling some ecstasy and they're feeling happiness.
Yeah, but
like if someone won lotto. Yeah. If someone wins lotto, right, a material thing that makes you materially happy, what will people do? Often they'll throw their hands in the air, hooray, wonderful, like that. So when you're feeling really happy, then you feel like dancing. So the devotee is inspired to dance, feeling so much happiness from that connection with Krishna.
He's got happiness because of the Prabhupada, isn't it? He was our teacher, guru, and everything, and through him. But if Prabhupada is not in your life, I wouldn't be dancing, or you wouldn't be dancing, would you?
Sure. So, no, I agree with what you're saying. That definitely, definitely the spiritual master and Krishna, their association has positively affected us, and we're feeling happiness and relief from miseries and so forth, and many benefits we're getting from hearing from the spiritual master, following his instructions, and that happiness and that will come when we follow the instructions of the spiritual master. You said about the spiritual master dancing inside of us. I don't know about explaining it in that way, but I would say that if you seriously take the spiritual master's instructions, which are to chant and dance and take prasadam, then you will feel so much happiness from that, because you're obediently following his instructions. So then you're connected with Krishna, because you're the spiritual master. What is he doing? The spiritual master is connecting the soul with Krishna. Chant Krishna's name, take Krishna's prasadam, hear about Krishna. It's all everything connected with Krishna. So he's connecting us with Krishna. And what's going to happen to us when you connect with Krishna? You're going to be ecstatic. Because what's the nature of Krishna? He's ecstatic. Krishna's always in bliss, right? Satchit Ananda. Krishna's always in Ananda. So if you get connected with a person that's always in Ananda, whereas the Guru is always in Ananda, and Krishna. So obviously, if you're connected with someone that's in bliss, you're going to be in bliss.
So the electricity coming from Krishna to Prabhupada to you when you dance.
Yeah.
Because you're not a body. So, it's not yours.
Yeah.
It's coming from, okay, I got it.
Yeah. But what I have heard about dancing inside you, that Prabhupada said, when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna's dancing on your tongue. So definitely I can say that much. Dancing inside of you, I'm not sure. I mean, Krishna can. I mean, there's nothing that Krishna can't do. Nothing that Krishna can't do.
But actually, we are the part and parcel anyway. We are
Krishna can. Because
I
mean, in one sense, it's not wrong to say that, if you're dancing, that Krishna's dancing, because actually this body is Krishna's energy. These arms, these legs, everything is Krishna's energy. That's why one of Krishna's names is Hrishikesha. Hrishi means the senses, and Isha means the master. So he's actually controlling our senses. Actually, you can't even put your hands in the air and dance, put your legs off the ground and jump, unless he's controlling you.
Dance, if you dance in front of the deity, if I ask that who's dancing, then how do you answer that? You can't say, oh, I'm dancing. Who was dancing?
Well, I would say that that the soul has a desire to dance. The soul has a desire. And Krishna is arranging it. Krishna's arranging it. You have a desire to surrender to the spiritual master, and you're chanting Hare Krishna under his direction, everything. And as a result, Krishna's very pleased. He's very satisfied, very pleased. And then he drops bliss on your head. He drops the nectar and the bliss. And then, and Krishna arranges that you in that happiness you dance.
And then you're not there where you are, and then you're in the different world, and Krishna is there. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, in one sense, it's interesting what you're saying, because like if I think about like when I was in Mayapur, I didn't even have a desire to dance. You just automatically dance, because when you got 2,000 devotees in ecstasy in the temple room all chanting Hare Krishna, you just automatically dance. Bhakti
because the I is disappear from that. In between you and Krishna, I is disappear. You can't say I. On that time, you were not there. Who was there?
Oh, yeah, I was there, but you weren't thinking about the I. You were thinking about Krishna. Yes. So that's the thing. Right. So in that sense, the I disappears. The I is still there, but you're not thinking about the I. You're thinking about Krishna. And that's love. That's what love is.
It is love.
Is the mother thinking about herself? No, the mother's thinking about a kid. Isn't it?
Yeah.
The mother's not thinking about herself. The mother's thinking about her child, my child is crying, my child is hungry, my child needs a bath, my child. And that's love. She's not thinking about, oh, I've got to eat now, and, I need to sleep and all this kind of stuff. She's thinking about a kid, so that's when the I disappears. But the individual is still there. There's still two persons there, the devotee and Krishna, but the devotee forgets about himself. And interesting, someone's here, police. And interestingly, just tell him that I'm on the Skype call. And just interestingly,
maybe somebody come to listen to the Bhagavad Gita session. Tell him to come in.
Oh, policeman. It's a policeman.
Policeman can be devotee too. Yeah, he's doing his duty, but he's a devotee.
I know.
Anyway, why the police coming to you for your kind?
I don't
curiosity?
know. I don't know. Surprise.
Only one way, because
is it something I need to deal with, or it is? Okay, you're going to have to. You talk with Jayanti for a few minutes. Talk with her.
Okay. Yeah. There's no Jayanti. Hare Krishna. Only
So
chair.
where are you? Where are you, Gulshan, now?
I'm in Mackay, North Queensland.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Mackay. Yeah, it's like a from Brisbane around 9 hours, 10 hours up in the
But
north.
you're
It's
closer to Cairns now. How
no,
many?
it's still Cairns is 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So in between the Cairns and Brisbane, CBD,
Okay.
Brisbane to Cairns, in between. So I was there at the Prosser Point, and now I'm come to Mackay. And the weather is very good, 24, 25 degree daytime. Nighttime, it's a bit little chilly, but
Yeah.
once sun comes up and it's a shorts and t-shirt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Why the
I
policeman came?
can't see.
Why?
I'm not sure. 1 minute. I'm going to stop recording.
Oh, yeah.
Already recorded.